Welcome everyone, I'm Yolandi Skuman and I'm really excited to share our research in chrono-ecological engineering with the question, can extreme biodiversity unlock the next frontier in chrono-ecological engineering for Earth and in space? So, Earth is in a crisis. I mean, that's very clear. We have climate change, we have erratic climatic events, we have escalated the biodiversity loss, pollution, all of those that's threatening our planet. And meanwhile, space exploration also lacks self-sustaining habitats, for instance for Mars. And the question can we ask is that, can ancient life which transformed Earth billions of years ago now inspire modern solutions for both, for Earth and space? And our goal is thus to propose ancient-inspired Earth, science, nature-based engineered technologies to tackle these challenges on Earth and beyond. So let's dive into why this study matters. So billions of years ago, ancient processes like stromatolites transformed Earth by producing oxygen, creating the air we breathe today. And now in an era of uncertainty, facing climate change, pollution, and the challenge of colonizing space, extreme biodiversity offers us an incredible opportunity and, of course, lessons in resilience. These organisms have survived the harshest conditions for millennia, and they can teach us how to thrive again. So, here's another question. Can these ancient survivors inspire modern solutions for our planet and beyond? And that's exactly our goal, to propose these nature-based technologies like bioregulate systems that can restore Earth's ecosystem and support life on Mars, where we can now start bridging the past with the final frontier. So, but what exactly is extreme biodiversity? It's an incredible array of life: microbes, algae, fungi, archaea, even plants like lichens and fauna like tardigrades and fish that survive where most can't. And these organisms, they thrive in South Africa's harshest environments like salt pans under scorching heat, meteorite impacted areas, dark caves with little oxygen, and also acidic mine waters with pH that can reach below 3. And their adaptations are absolutely amazing. I mean, tardigrades resist radiation, desert lichens can harvest water from fog, and fish can tolerate extreme acidity and heat. And that is just to name a few. And these survival strategies can show us really how life can endure in the toughest conditions, that can now inspire these solutions for our crisis that we experience on Earth, and of course, the other challenge that we have in terms of Mars and other planets that we think of creating habitats. That's novel. So now really let's explore the heart of this study, and this is the chrono-ecological engineering framework. And of course, chrono means time, so it's ecological engineering over time, from ancient Earth systems to the final frontier. And this approach really merges ancient ecological wisdom with modern bioengineering to create these sustainable solutions. So it has 3 pillars. First, we have paleoecology that looks at ancient processes like stromatolites that oxygenated Earth approximately 3.5 billion years ago. We also have, secondly, astroecology that mainly focuses on astrobiology to apply these lessons to space, such as building the Mars habitats. And thirdly, we have the strong focus on ecological engineering designs based on the designs and implementation of ecosystems for the benefit of humans and of course nature, with practical systems like bioregulate and carbon capture technologies. So by integrating these, we model microbial interactions and nutrient cycling, for instance, bridging billions of years of Earth's history with the future of space exploration. And this framework is our bridge across time and space, guiding us towards sustainability, of course, in space and of course here on Earth. So in addition to our methodology, there's a number of sites in extreme biodiversity, of course, that we use as space and Earth analogues. And some of these areas, the top left, of course, is a crater. It's a meteorite impacted area, which is in Gauteng in South Africa. Just next to it, it's a severely mine and legacy mine impact area. Specifically, also the problem that we experience is acid mine drainage. And there we also investigate, of course, extreme biodiversity. And below that, we also have the ancient Barberton Greenstone Belt area, some of the most earliest places where life originated, and there we also continue to search for these ancient life, and of course also extreme biodiversity in this area. And just next to that, at the bottom left, we also have the Richtersveld area, which is the only arid biodiversity hotspot area in the world. So these all form part, of course, these are just a few sites that we are busy studying that form part of our analogues for, of course, extreme biodiversity. So we also use agent-based modeling to simulate the microbial interactions like biofilm growth over 14 days. So we look at microbes growing as they uptake the nutrients from day 0 to 14, which is a practical time frame to capture growth and oxygen production, which is of course very similar to microbial cycles that we test in bioreactors. So we model parameters like growth rates and nutrient uptake using the equation as indicated on the screen there, where we modeled also like the growth rates in terms of biomass, which is the green line, D is the decay, the gray line, and O is oxygen, the blue line, where K with 1 is 0.5 and K2 is 0.1. And there we actually predict oxygen reaching on average 6.2 milligram per liter per day by day 14, really showing the potential for Earth and Mars application over a very short term, of course. So here's also how we designed our modeling and the outputs that we basically predict based on the framework and the application. So we base our simulations on realistic conditions for extremophiles and temperatures between 25 and 35 degrees Celsius, pH from 3 to 9, 5,000 lux of light for 14 hours a day. That really mimics South African environments and the Mars habitat setups. So we also assume a microbial mat thickness of 5 to 10 millimeters, densely packed with 10 to 20 grams per square meter of typically blue-green algae and actively growing as well. So our models predict impressive outputs, 6.2 milligram per liter per day, an average of oxygen, 15.3 kilogram carbon dioxide per square meter per year, of course, of carbon sequestration, with also 92 to 95 specific removal of nitrates and phosphates. And these rates, higher than typical microbial systems by 20 to 30%, really indicates the potential of these ancient earth science biofilms to purify and address some of the contamination that we have on Earth and support life on Earth as well, and even in space habitats as well. So now let's look at the proposed experimental design to bring these models to life. Firstly, we'll hybrid culture extremophiles in various types of bioreactors, both in the lab and in the field, at site analogues like soil pans. And this dual approach, of course, let us test under controlled conditions and also real-world extremes. And next, we'll also optimize your bioregulate systems for dual use, where we can now really optimize supporting Earth's ecosystems, building these ecosystems and Mars habitats as well. And then finally, we'll also, of course, in parallel, measure all these key parameters to demonstrate the impact, of course, in the lab and, of course, in field applications as well. And these designs will then continue to validate our models and pave the way for sustainable solutions on Earth applications and also in space applications. So then let's explore the implications of this approach for Earth and space. So on Earth, our systems will have the potential to address river contamination and looking at specific areas, removing up to 90% of pollutants, including your heavy metals, 10 to 15 grams COD per day, tackling sewage, which is quite a big problem in South Africa, and runoff. possibly capturing up to 4 kilograms of carbon dioxide per square meter per year, additionally boosting oxygen and supporting 10 to 50 species per square meter, including nitrogen fixing bacteria that can restore soil fertility. In drylands, where we can also build soil, of course, and in for space, it can also be a game changer. We're looking at producing 150 to 300 grams of oxygen per day to sustain life, and these could be in enclosures, of course, where we can also create bioregulite for soils from soils that's completely devastated, whether it's by pollution or climate change. And then also we can enable terraforming on Mars, like what we can do on Earth. And looking ahead, this framework could be a blueprint for other planets using South Africa's extreme biodiversity sites where we establish these analogues, and also where they become natural living labs to refine these applications that we have, which we regard really as a unique contribution to global science. So we stand at a crossroad. I think Earth's ecosystems are collapsing, we know that, and humanity's dream of colonizing Mars hangs also in the balance. But extreme biodiversity holds the key. With chrono-ecological engineering, we can take bold steps to address pollutions in various ecosystems, to bring back functionality, to restore and build back these barren lands, and to build thriving habitats on Mars that can really turn ancient resilience to modern miracles. And this isn't just a science, it's a movement to redefine sustainability for Earth and space. Thank you very much.